Hey guys, welcome to Case of the Mondays. We have a fantastic guest on this week, Mr. Mike Cannon. Super funny, tells two of my favorite stories I've ever heard in my entire life. One about fucking up at a job where he was the IT person and knew nothing about it, and another where he worked at a gymnasium when he was 18 years old. And it's one of my favorite stories I've ever heard on this podcast. This is a very fun episode. Have a listen. Bye.
Case of the Mondays. Case of the Mondays, case of the case of the case of the Mondays, case of the Mondays, case of the Mondays. His name's Case and it's Monday, so you're about to listen to Case of the Mondays.
I put this right up to my kisser.
You don't have to, but it's fine. Welcome, buddy. Happy to have you.
Oh, is this how you start? Is it organic?
Yeah, it's pretty organic. Yeah, I really love the organic start. You watched Brendan have a burrito over a garbage can.
Yeah, this was like 2 days ago, or 2 weeks ago, I guess.
I saw him that night.
Yeah. I literally filmed him because I couldn't believe.
He looked so down when I saw him. Like he was like embarrassed and like.
Yeah, I mean, he may have been at his wit's end, but it certainly. Can I hold it like this?
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
wow,
we can
look
do
at
this.
us being all
look
casual.
At this. We're pretty people. Hey, what's going on? He just looked shameful when I was like, "Hey, man," and he was like, he mentioned going to Taco Bell, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, what you got?" And he was like, "Yeah, I got 2 tacos and burrito or something."
That is exactly what he got. Yeah. Okay. I thought you were making this up just to try to connect with me.
No.
But no, yeah. He nailed his
exactly
order. He got 2 tacos. I got like, 1 taco. I thought he was smart until I was, of course, awoken in the middle of the night with just, the worst trapdoor diarrhea of all time.
Yep.
But Brendan, he was like, "Oh, I'll be good. I'll eat half of the second taco." And then he ate half and was like, as he was walking it to the garbage, he just jammed it down his gullet.
Oh, man. You go, "Why'd you have to make it sad, dude? You could just eat at the table."
Yeah, you're not a single divorced dad.
No one cares.
You don't have to eat over the sink.
Yeah, exactly. You could just throw this burrito out, or you could eat all of it in front of me. But
eat all of it in front of me. I will never judge you.
Yeah.
We both got high together and ate the same thing.
Right. And then, but to go, "All right, man, I'm going to throw this out," and then just lose all.
Just shows the levels of addiction. He probably believed he was going to throw it out. And then as he was going to toss it, he thought of the waste and the fact that he would be missing that extra calorie later on and just couldn't bear it.
And it's so delicious.
Yeah.
You go, "I'm not going to throw this fucking burrito."
Is it, though? I don't even know. I don't know what was good about it.
I've been pretty high and had Taco Bell. I don't even know.
It's satisfying.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's delicious.
It's a good point. Yeah. Yeah, it's just a lot of sugar, salt and fat and cheese.
The hot sauce certainly makes it palatable.
Yeah, the hot sauce is great. What did you get?
I got the same thing. I got like a burrito supreme or something like that, and then I got hard tacos.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I've spent $22 drunk at Taco Bell, and then I've eaten it all, and I go, that was a mistake, but it was good.
See, that's I've been drunk to want Taco Bell and also on Coke, so I've ordered like $45 worth of Taco Bell and then looked at it for 6 hours as I couldn't go to sleep.
And you can't eat it because you're all coked up?
Yep.
Yeah.
Geneseo, baby.
You go, my college. That was one of the things you did there. Yeah, you just got coked up and then you didn't eat your Taco Bell.
Because I was first of all, and I was like crazy diet guy.
Right.
Like I had, right after I stopped playing basketball.
You were like, okay. I was going to say, you were like an athlete. Yeah.
Well, I was on steroids for my junior college. And then coming off that, I was like, I need to get healthy. I need to be in shape the correct way. So I did this bodybuilding Bible for men. Yeah. Which is like perhaps the gayest.
Doesn't sound straight.
So, I mean, to be honest, I enjoyed the pictures more than the lessons. But it's like crazy diet plan where you would eat 5-6 times a day. You do their workout plan, and I got down to, I'm 180 pounds now, and I'm pretty thin. I was down to 167.
Wow.
And just like, but 8-pack abs. I had veins going through my body.
That's a lot harder to do than I thought you were going to tell me you were 200 pounds and jacked.
No, that was when I was on steroids. Oh. And also, I had an 8-pack when I did that because I took D-ball, basically, which is a bulking
D-balls,
testosterone.
Yep. Yeah.
But I also took clenbuterol, which is what they found in Canelo Alvarez's blood. Because he's like, I ate weird beef. They're like, oh, actually, it gives you a million % stamina and sheds every bit of body fat you could possibly have and build lean
why
muscle.
are we not all taking this drug?
Everybody
it sounds great.
should, but it's also like kind of Parkinson's-y.
Oh, that's not good.
Dude, I was playing underground poker at there's a lot of layers here.
What a great great tangent. Yeah, I'm into this.
I would be on steroids on clenbuterol at the table, like trying to bluff and literally tremoring, just like, no, you don't have a read on me. You
think you know who I am, man?
I can't stop moving.
Yeah.
I'm just grinding my teeth down to the gum.
It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. You're coked up. You're like, I'm all in, bitch.
Just shaking. I kick 6
You're like, Mike,
chips.
you have no money left. You're like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, man.
I'm ripping the felt off the table. I don't know. The game's been over for days.
Your friends left hours ago, dude. What are you still doing here? Just yelling at nobody. Yeah, that's insane. So, yeah,
I don't know where we even started.
Yeah.
Oh, Taco Bell.
Hot Taco Bell. 167 pounds, throwing Taco Bell out.
So, I was on, that would be my cheat day, though. The Taco Bell in college while I was on that crazy diet. That would be my cheat day. So sometimes I would eat like, and you could swipe your fucking student card. So I'd order $100 and it wouldn't do anything.
Good old Geneseo.
Oh, yeah. It's the best.
Everyone just coming out of their homes at 9 a.m. in the morning throwing out full bags of Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The best is, and this happened to me a little bit, but to see all the ex-athletes go to college and then have ready Taco Bell at their order with and it's fake money. It's your student.
It's not real.
It doesn't count.
And you're never going to get it back.
Yeah.
You don't get that money back if you don't use it for food.
Oh, and we had this one fancy restaurant, real fancy, on Main Street in Geneseo, where
the
you
chicken
could swipe
fingers
your
had hot
card
sauce.
at the end.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. It was homemade blue cheese dressing as opposed to Paul Newman's.
The hot garbage they give college kids, right? And you go, yeah, this is gourmet. We've deep fried these. I remember we had a place that there was like a deal, and you could get fried mozzarella sticks, jalapeno poppers, chicken fingers, and tater tots, and it was like a deal. And you would just be like, hey,
yeah, they're trying to kill you.
Yeah, they're just trying to kill you, and you're like, well, I'm high out of my mind already. So
upstate New York, they had those. They had all of that shit in a garbage plate. It's called.
Oh yeah,
that was like the hangover meal where it would be like home fries, burger patty, hot dog, chicken fingers, mott sticks, taco meat, all smashed into this one plate, and it's like no wonder you were all patchy skinned fatzos
disgusting.
in this area of the state.
Yeah.
It's like you Slaven fucks. This is your normal breakfast.
How do you do this on a regular basis?
It was great.
Crazy.
I did it.
Well, when you're a kid, you could do anything. Yeah. You're doing, what is it? Clenbuterol, you call it?
Clenbuterol.
Clenbuterol.
Yeah. It's like a horse asthma medication, I think. I remember I mentioned it in passing.
That's so awesome, dude.
It's so good.
Yeah.
I mentioned it to my uncle who's like, he's a vet. And I just mentioned it because I knew it had something to do with horses. And I was like, some people are...
horses,
Of course. And I'm like, friends of mine are taking it. And he's like... tell them to stop right now. Like that's going to kill them. And I'm like, a few more weeks.
After I get the next couple of pounds off, I'll do it.
Oh, and then I got what happened first? I think I got a physical to like play basketball at Geneseo.
Okay.
And I didn't even drink at this point in my life. And so we did liver test, blood test, the whole thing. And we got the results back, and the doctor goes, "Hey man, have you been drinking every day of your life since you were 5 years old?" And I was like, what? No. And he's like, your liver is code red. Like, we need to do something. Like, this is fucking bad. And I'm like, well, I am on this thing. And he was like, oh, you idiot. You idiot. Like, get off of it. Your liver will grow back. But, what do you do?
Yeah,
like,
what are you doing?
Just screamed at me in his
that's great.
the
They said
doctor's
your liver will
office.
grow
And
back.
I'm like, dude, I am holding back the Hulk right now.
Yeah,
because I may be dying on the inside, but on the outside, I will rip your arm off and shove it down your mouth like it's a wood chipper.
He's like, I have a poor diagnosis for you. Like, I have a diagnosis for you. Death.
Instant death.
I'm going to fucking body slam you, doc. I swear to God. Give me back news, motherfucker. That poor guy's probably staring at you like, all right, so...
Yeah, I'm like bleeding from my eye like it's true blood.
Dude, working out in college, I remember I used to see all the athletes at the gym, man. It's so fucking intense because everyone's like, there's no like... they don't check, sometimes some schools, you're just doing steroids.
Oh,
you
yeah.
got these giant men at the peak of their lives where you go, all right, just throwing up like 600 pounds on whatever. And you're like, okay.
Animals. Dude, I used to go to a gym. Its nickname was Sauce Quest because everybody in the gym was on steroids. Everyone,
so
including
funny.
myself.
Sauce Quest was the name of the gym.
Oh, dude, wow. I didn't watch. My friend, I feel like I've watched it because he described the story to me in such such vivid detail. My friend Tim used to work at this gym. You know him. He used to date Kate Wolf, comedian, probably former guest on the podcast.
Yeah, not yet.
Oh, Kase told me he will never.
No, I did say that, Kate, just so you know. This is not happening.
So her former squeeze, I'm pretty sure it was a painful breakup, so let's just twist that knife a few more seconds.
They were really into each other. I got it.
Oh, totally. I'm pretty sure he told her it was forever.
Yeah. That's how it goes normally. Yeah. Sorry, Kate. We just keep going and just like, hey, Kate, you know, for no reason.
Yeah. Remember when I told you both you had AIDS from an anonymous phone at the Verizon store, which I did do? While they were dating, I texted my friend Tim from a Verizon store, from a phone, like one of them, and I go, hey, man, or I go, Tim, I just got my test results back. It's bad. You need to call me immediately. And I was there to get a new phone, and I fucking forgot I did it.
Great.
I forgot I did it, and I eventually like left the store and just continued on my life. And
you gave your friend a fake AIDS diagnosis, and then we're like, oh, yeah, man.
He's calling the phone. He's texting it like, who is this? What's going on? He's going through the Rolodex of women he fucking raw-dicked. Yeah, and he's just, panicking, losing his mind.
Of course.
And he's with Kate. Yeah. And I think at one point he looked at her and was like, I think I have AIDS. I may have given you AIDS. How do we tell your son we have AIDS? It just escalated to a terrible place.
That's the best sentence I've ever heard in my life.
So Tim at the gym, I still remember where we were headed. Tim at the gym was watching this guy on steroids power clean like 400 pounds, something just unhuman.
Insane,
And as he had it at his chest and was going
that's
for
when
the
you
final,
do from like a deadlift all the way up, and then
deadlift to mid thigh to snatch, to then up
like a shoulder press.
And so he got it to his chest, and on the way up, his fucking patella snapped. His left patella shot up to his hip. As he was trying to rebalance on the other one, his other patella snapped.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Fucking shot up to his hip. He fell down, the weight's on top of him, and Tim said the scream was like straight out of a war movie, like the most primal you've never heard.
Buddy, makes 100% sense. You forgot to tell this guy that you told him he had AIDS. Like, that was the craziest thing I've ever heard. I was like, wow, I'm totally forgetting AIDS right now. That's what's happening, guys. As you're telling me this, I'm like, AIDS, schmades, who's dating who? I don't know. Yeah.
This guy, patella, bedridden for like 18 months, I think, couldn't get up. They had to fish his fucking patella out of his hip, and they had to like reconnect it. It's like an absolute awful
How does that happen?
scene.
Because he was just on a ton of steroids. His fucked up his bone density or something.
It fucked up everything. It messes up your tendons. I mean, I'm like, as strong as I got on steroids, I injured myself like 15 times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like that's what it does. Is it makes your body grow too fast, and so your body doesn't catch your natural body doesn't catch up with it, so you're just more susceptible to hurting yourself.
Oh man, I would love to just see somebody do some right now. Yeah, after these stories, I really want to try, but in like a responsible, safe way, the way an adult would do steroids. Just a little bit, tone up, tone up a little bit.
Steroids is The Rock, like that's how an adult does steroids.
HGH,
he's on the finest.
Yeah, there's no way he's not.
I mean, just pure. He's on the fountain of youth, basically.
Right.
Like he's got shit that nobody knows about.
I talked to a guy once after a show, and he goes, he's like, I'm an old guy. He took HGH basically, and he was dosing himself, and he told me he's like, I just take enough to be 18. He's
18.
He goes,
imagine wanting to be 18 with
insane.
A hard dick all the time. It's like, give me a happy 28.
He was an aggressive. He was an aggressive guy. Yeah, for sure. I was talking to him. He goes, you come home, and he's just immediately one of these guys. You get outside. He goes, you think you're gonna marry someone, and they turn out to be a real bitch. And you're like, wow,
cool, man. You are 18.
Yeah, you are 18.
You did make a short-sighted decision based on penis.
Yeah, 100%. I go, are you right? He goes, I came home, the elliptical's in the pool, man. He's like, anyway, I'm taking HGH. I'm dosing.
I love that he's like, out of nowhere.
Yeah,
like, clearly that
you've been on drugs, and ignoring your wife totally to be 18. Anyway, he told me he took the amount you take that you get to be 18. He said athletes take like he takes like 100, and an athlete takes like 300, 400, 500. Like
Right.
that's what they found in what is his name, Lance
Armstrong. I mean, that's also a special situation where that was like blood doping meets like high tech shit.
Right.
I mean, did you watch that Icarus documentary?
I didn't know.
Did you see it? It's fucking awesome. So it starts out as this like kind of moderate, not professional, but like certainly not like amateur bicyclist.
Right.
He was like, oh, I'm gonna just do the exact program Lance Armstrong did and see if I can beat the same type of testing. He was just like that's how the documentary started.
The funniest premise for a thing I've ever heard.
Right?
In my
It's
life.
like white guy is bored, white guy has money, white guy makes movie.
White guy takes chances with his life.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, why not?
Why not?
What else? I have nothing to fear besides my own injections. So
yeah, that's it.
He does this thing, and he's getting better. He's noticing like longevity on the bike and like all these superpowers. But then he also stumbles upon like an international doping scheme by the Russians, and the entire documentary changes direction
into that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I remember about that, and they got taken out of the Olympics.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Watch the documentary.
That was from the doc. I'm totally watching this documentary.
I was on an edible watching this harmless bike documentary,
great.
and all of a sudden I'm like espionage and murder.
Great.
I'm like, get me the fuck out of here.
I don't like most documentaries because I just believe whatever the documentary says. Because I have, as you probably know, no spine. I go, this is just. I go, yeah, whatever. Sure, fishes should be in the ocean. Blackfish, that's bad. And then I saw something else about climbing, and I was like, all right, yeah, let these guys climb. That was a good. These guys climb.
Is somebody trying to block them?
No, they're not trying to block them, but this girl's like
just rangers tired of cleaning up dead bodies.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. There's people sitting there like, this is too dangerous to sport. People just die.
Well,
there's
isn't
no
that
point.
The only kind of end to it.
Yeah, there's like you fuck up.
100% of them died.
What the hell is the name? Have you seen it? Free solo. Yeah.
I'm into it. I mean, die doing what you love. Who gives a shit? But
right.
That is a wild choice to just be like, ropes.
I'm good.
Who needs them? What am I, gay?
Yeah.
Ropes.
I would have been great if it was in the documentary. He screams down. He's like, what am I, gay? Come on, let's go.
Gay, maybe you are. It's like, Dad?
It just echoing to the mountaintop.
It's God trying to shoot him a message. He's like, maybe I don't have to climb. I'm running from myself.
He's not emotionally developed at all. He just keeps calling his friends fags from the top. He goes, come on, man, you're going to die. He's like, whatever, queers.
We're in two different riffs.
Yeah, we're two completely. Yeah. You're into your father, and I'm still on the gay riff. I was like going to say something, and I was like, you got it. This is fine. That's crazy, man. So the guy's literally just starting out with a bike and taking steroids. And then it just goes into
Russian espionage and just basically a pro steroid ring that the Russian Olympic Committee was running. They were doping all of their people.
So everyone,
which is great.
You're in college. Everyone's doing steroids.
Yeah,
you didn't get in trouble. No one checked.
I mean, besides by my life, I almost lost my life.
Right. Besides that little fact,
that little tidbit.
Besides you being a pissy about it. Yeah.
But then I did that diet and I got shredded.
You got ripped. You're like, I'm not on steroids. You're on steroids.
Yeah. But I was still. It was a weird scene. But now I feel like I've found a moderate, healthy medium where
you just take a little bit of steroids.
Yes, I would in a heartbeat. Despite them nearly killing me, if anybody has any,
guys, please reach out to Mike.
Just FedEx them to Kase.
Yeah. Oh,
He'll
yeah. Send them to me. I'll take a couple hits on the way, not work out, and just give them to Mike.
How do you think they're taking?
I have no idea. I'm assuming pills.
Well, I did take pills. So the
D-balls are pills, right?
You can get a syringe as well, but this is
this guy with no neck and a shaved head tried to sell me D-balls all throughout college.
D-balls?
Yep.
Oh man, that was not a real steroid he tried to say.
That's what he kept telling me. I was
D-balls.
I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about right now.
Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Long Island and
sense.
Hicksville.
Yeah.
But he went to school with me at New Paltz.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where my sister lives, outside of New Paltz.
In New Paltz? Yeah,
yeah,
nice
she went to school there.
Nice people.
She loved it. Yeah. Hips. Hips.
Strangers invite you inside to take bong hits.
Yeah, it's a real odd place, to be perfectly honest. Somebody's going to get murdered.
Yeah. First day I went there, I saw a completely naked man run through the middle of the town. Mm-hmm. And there was a guy that ran up behind him to catch him, slapped him on the ass, and then like 4 police cruisers pulled up and tackled him. It was insane. I was like,
I thought you were going to say they just welcomed him to the town.
They're like, welcome, you're one of us. Perfect.
Congratulations, official resident of
You've done the official town hazing, the ritual to become part of this town. Yeah, it was nuts. I was like, how do they? He must do this often because they like knew it was going to happen, right? There's no way 4 police
he wrote
cars.
it on his Facebook as his.
Yeah, something. I'm going to be streaking at this time. A lot of weirdos
manifesto.
up there, man.
For sure.
But it's a nice life. No one's trying to rat race.
No, that's for sure. Yeah, a lot of mushrooms and no showers.
A lot of sweatpants.
Yeah.
A lot of sweatpants everywhere.
a lot of sweatpants for weeks.
Yep. Not even trying to care a little bit. You go, this is great. This is just your life.
So I took them in pills.
Okay.
And the insidious part of this is I bought them at a store. So I bought them at a store in Nanuet, New York, because you could put steroids for sale in a store.
Calling just like the back of a man's van. Store?
This is a store.
This is
as
a real
they're
store.
going through FDA approval.
Wow.
So
okay.
as they're going, it's legal to sell.
Right.
And then once they're rejected and they're like, no, this is anabolic steroids, they're like, our bad.
Well,
they
sorry
take it
about
off the shelf, repackage it, change like a molecule,
and then change
go
it again.
through the whole process. And so they constantly are selling. I took methyl D and M1T.
I've heard of methyl D.
You could easily Google it. One was a Winstrol, basically a whatever Winstrol, and one was D-ball.
A D-ball, okay.
Yeah. And then I took clenbuterol.
So D-ball is a steroid. D-ball's not a steroid.
That is just, that guy I think
that
wanted
guy just
to
called
have
the
sex
D-ball.
with you.
I mean, he full on, he had a giant tribal tattoo, and if you pushed in, and he's like, look, and then he like push in his muscle, and it was all water weight to you. It was going like a fucking
just eating
inch and a half.
creatine every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you could just push in, and he just had all this it was like squishy. It was like weird. And
That's
it
real
was
gross.
Huge.
I think that big squishy man wanted to come out as gay to you.
I have no. I hope he's gay now. I don't know.
Well, he's
I don't
probably
think
a climber.
Both of his patellas have snapped at this point.
Yeah,
There's no
for
way.
sure. That was the man from the story. From
That's the guy from every single kid that you went to college with. There was no like your body got fucked, but there was no like checking at that point from any of the college didn't come.
No.
Be like,
So I mean, I played junior college basketball, so it was like I played at Rockland Community College. I was probably two local kids from actually Rockland County.
Right.
We were on the team. One I played, the other kid I played basketball with in high school, and then everybody else was from like the city, Yonkers, Bronx, Brooklyn, some Manhattan, and Yonkers.
Okay.
So none of them were on this. This was because I found my athletic limitations real quick my freshman year, and all these kids were so good at basketball, but they're like, super dumb, so they couldn't get into schools. So this was their farm system to try to let me
go into a place and do that or whatever.
Because if you take community college seriously, turns out it could actually get you somewhere.
It really can. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous. I mean, Tufts was offering me some money to play basketball, like academic money to play basketball. It turns out, I mean, it was like 1/3.
Now it's a community college. People were fucking doing.
Yeah, we played them.
Yeah, were they good?
They were all right. We played them tough every year. I think they were in our conference, and I
went to a couple games.
Your gyms sucked.
I mean, it is high school gyms are better than the NASA Community College gym. And I remember just being like, we're just gonna get high. It's not.
Yeah,
It's not like other colleges where you go, and everyone gets into just like this community college.
Yeah, it's not bad though.
I know that one guy. This is fine. This is not a big deal.
That guy sold me OxyContin in high school.
Did you? You grew up in? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Rockland County, so I was born in Manhattan. I grew up for 9 years of my life right outside of West Point in Fort Montgomery, and then I was from 10 till I moved into the city. I was in Rockland County, right near Levity Live.
Ooh,
Comedy
good old
Club.
Levity Live.
Yeah, like 5 minutes down the road.
Oh, that's cool. So you're from that? Okay, cool, cool. And were they like? Was it like steroids growing up also, or?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah?
I mean, everybody. I remember the first.
This is wild.
The first. Oh, me personally, or people that
just
I know.
People,
yeah. Everybody's.
It
always
just seems
been
like that.
steroids.
I was like, I bet you if they're doing it in that college that much, and the colleges.
Yeah.
I was like,
but even nobody else on my basketball team was doing steroids. Like I was the only one. My buddy actually did so much steroids that he walked onto West Virginia football.
Wow.
And then he hung out with like Chris Henry and Pac-Man Jones and started robbing ecstasy dealers and taking a ton of ecstasy with steroids. And he went full fucking baddie. Got put into an asylum for a full year. Yeah, he was really good at football though.
Yeah. Like, this guy doesn't even know what he's doing, but he's good.
He was like a human pit bull. Like, you just created
go
an
in this
animal
direction, and then you're all
you're
set.
like you give him a ball, and you're like, kill whoever has that, and he did it.
That's great.
Yeah, he was Water Boy.
Yeah, Bobby Boucher, Billy Madison. I meant Bobby Madison.
Boucher.
I just switch up every Adam Sandler movie.
With you.
Oh yeah, baby. When you first started, you had jobs, I'm sure.
Started comedy.
Yeah, when you first started.
Oh yeah.
You have like a worst job that you've ever had starting out, or
I've had an odd collection of jobs.
I don't know what story you're gonna tell, but I just really quick. I just remembered my favorite thing you ever told me when you did. Remember you did like an IT.
Yeah.
That's my favorite story anyone's ever told me.
I mean, that was just a weird job because I interviewed thinking it was for an office manager position. And I just knew, I knew it was my buddy's stepmother that worked there, and she was going to get me the job.
Sure,
She's like, it's for an office manager. It's minimum $10,000 more than what you're making at your other office.
Yeah, you
I'm
get
just
a couple
starting
bucks.
comedy. It's health insurance. It's all this stuff. And
Sounds
she's
good.
like, you might need to know a little bit about computers, but it's totally fine. It's taught on the job. No big deal. And I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I write up some horseshit resume.
Yeah.
I almost said audition. I get an interview. And it's two people who are super cool.
Yeah.
But the first question was they're like, you're a Mac specialist, huh? And I was like, all my life.
You doubled down hard.
I just instantly too. I'm such a sociopath that it didn't even cross my mind to just
What would be
say,
the problem?
oh, I'm sorry, am I here for the wrong job?
Yeah,
It was Yeah, I am a Mac specialist.
What's going to happen?
I never owned a Mac. I only used my sister's for like a day to look at YouTube or something like that.
I didn't know you didn't own a Mac. That's even funnier.
Zero Mac expertise. I was only a PC person, and I was awful at that.
Right.
So I crushed the interview. They're
of
like,
course,
hey,
with that type of confidence, you could have probably banged that guy's wife. Yeah.
They're like, don't worry. It's more you're a morale setter. Like you're gonna be, you're IT, but not really. And I'm like, okay.
It's like, buddy, you're great. Come to my house afterwards. We're pretty open-minded couple. I had a couple of drinks.
It's so weird. So I'm like confused as to even what the job is, and then I get there and it's just 100% IT. It's 100. They're like, all right, you're gonna have to network the office. You're gonna have to work with the servers, with this fucking giant server room with fucking stacks of servers. Where I'm like, I truly don't know how to even turn these on. This is an advertising company.
That's great.
Yeah, they're still around. Story Worldwide.
They're doing like $100 million of business a year, and you're like,
I think they're floundering, as a matter of fact. But they've gone through a bunch of evolutionary changes, and I'm still fond of some of the people that came out of there. But
nice.
It was so like, I was just losing my mind. I mean, they gave me a Mac to work to like familiarize myself.
Yeah.
And the guy that was that had my job before, like, stayed there for a week, so he kind of showed me a little bit. I am from scratch learning computers. I am
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I might as well be 80 years old. And I'm like, all right, cool. The
guy goes, my computer's messed up. You're like, give me a second.
Dude, so the guy leaves. I'm there for a week. It's like a slow week. Yeah. So I'm like, people are asking me to help. I immediately tell them to restart, and then I Google what the fuck they just said. I have no clue what they're saying. Turns out Apple has a comprehensive FAQ section that just basically was the IT guy for our entire company. Like, and I got the job done by that.
That's amazing.
Then the woman that worked the front desk was like this Lisa Crawford. Wow. I remember this because I'll never forget the email she sent quitting. She was like this ridiculous front desk lady, like the sassiest of the sassiest black women, and just like could not give a shit, like did not want to be there, and I loved her for it. I loved her dismissiveness and her just like I don't care.
I don't give a shit about
you're
any
telling
of this.
me stuff and I hear none of what you're saying. So dude, but also it was infuriating because I'd have to basically pick up the slack as as the low IT guy. I would then have to like double up with like answering phones, transferring all that shit.
That's insane.
Which was super weird.
Yeah.
And then she took
you already don't know what you're doing, and then you're like, hey, do you want to do this other job? You're like, how long have you done secretary work for? You're like, like since I was a child. What are you talking about? I've always done
Sweatshops,
secretary.
always, but yeah, pretty good. Always.
Besides knowing Max, I just answered phones also. Weird coincidence.
It's as if you guys cultivated this job personally for me.
Yeah, just
based
for me.
on my expertise. So I'm like, I was filling in and answering, and then we get an office-wide email. She took like a 3-day vacation.
Yeah.
On the she didn't show up for the 4th day, and then on the 5th day at like 11:30 a.m. she goes, "Hi guys, I just got." It was some Victoria's Secret model that was dating Nick Cannon at the time. I forget who it was, but she was like, "My niece so and so just offered me a job on America's Next Top Model, and I cannot pass it up. Bye, y'all. Thanks." An office company-wide email, quit the job, which I'm like kind of just
awesome.
fist up and a breakfast club for this woman,
Yeah,
like kind of proud of her, but also then I just got her job.
No,
I absorbed her job. So not only did I not know what I was doing, I was then taking on ordering supplies, answering phones, being the basically personal assistant for the office, and
you're the office manager,
no
basically.
raise or anything. Yeah, the job that I initially thought I was going to get, I ended up getting on top of a brand new.
Wow, this went real south after this woman
crazy.
left.
Yeah.
The all office email is the best. Just fuck you to. It's so great.
Yeah, you know.
That's the move.
You know
you
how
want to
little-
leave, you do an all office, no matter what you say.
Buddy, it's the best move. But you know how little I knew about computers? The fucking the 3rd day after the guy left,
couldn't
right?
open the email?
After my quote unquote mentor left, I'm supposed to create a distribution group, which means I put certain employees under a bulk email.
Yeah.
So then they can
Like a CCBCC thing?
kind of
Yeah.
like, but you can email like marketing at whatever.com
Okay.
instead of like having to
17
CC
people or
17
whatever it is,
people.
yeah.
Exactly. So I'm creating this distribution list, and I'm done. I follow the thing, and I'm like, I crushed this so much. I'm like proud of myself. So to test it, I just wrote testicles in the subject. And 3 minutes later, the CEO emails all back and goes, "This went to the entire company, including China."
Oh God! Oh, that's great. They're just people in China getting your testicles. That's the craziest email to get from You're just literally you're going national with global with it too.
Global, yeah.
People in China.
Testicles.
Testicle. They don't know how to say.
Sorry,
it.
I got there in about 2 minutes. I know at least 3 racist people were hoping for it.
That's great, man. That's the best fuck up story I've ever heard in my life. I think since I've been doing this.
Oh, you want to hear another one?
I don't even care anymore, man. I'm so happy. I don't care.
Not from this job.
I am
This is a
so
different
happy.
job.
I mean, you're literally watching, like, my mind's just blown right now. I'm like, wow, you sent it. And when you said and China, I was like, this is fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah, dude, I'm a globalist.
That's
asshole.
literally, you go, what do? You're like, I just write a
this, by the way?
screenplay and it's about this right now. Yeah, this is great.
And I'll have buyers galore. So I used to also, when I was 18, I think, maybe 16 to 18, I coached gymnastics. And I did. This is a similar situation where I walked into this thing.
How old?
I think I was 16, 17 when I started.
Why? How?
So I was working as like a camp counselor during the summertime. I was a busboy. I fucking hated. I was a busboy for my now wife, then girlfriend's father. Her father's
And you guys,
restaurant.
you guys knew each other from when you were children.
Yeah, I was just like, all right, I'm kind of done doing this. I don't want to have this relationship with my girlfriend's father. So I just started looking around to like random like kids places, like because I've worked with as a counselor.
Gymnastics, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But it's also like competitive team gymnastics. So every gymnastics gym kind of runs as a moneymaker during the day, teach the public idiots how to do it. And then on the side, they're like, their real prospects are actually going to work. So I walk in and I'm like, really in shape, young athlete with like, probably cut sleeve shirt in the summertime. And behind the desk was like a 65-year-old Russian woman with fake lips, fake tits, like just every nip and tuck you could possibly imagine, and like dressed super like
sexy
older lady.
And you're seeing this, you go, gross, you're seeing this and you go, all right.
I'm seeing this and I'm saying, target acquired.
Because you're 16. I'm like, yeah, you're
16. Not only am I going to try to have sex with her, but I think I can charm her into giving me a job. And I walk in.
Yeah.
I walk in, and I swear to God, this is true, and I'm sure I'm missing some holes in it.
Yeah.
But this is how I remember it. She walked from behind the desk. I go, do you guys have an opening? Like, I'd be interested in being like a janitor or something like that. Like, clearly I have nothing to offer. I've worked with kids before. If you need like any birthday parties, whatever it may be,
I could do something.
She literally walked from behind the desk, looked me up and down, smacked me in the ass, and said, "You're hired." And I was like, this is all right, fucking A.
Like
this is fantastic.
I've been hard the whole time.
This woman.
Yeah.
This is, she owns the place, it turns out.
Oh, wow.
It was $15 an hour as like a 16, 17-year-old. So I'm just like,
that's
this
insane.
is,
that's a lot of money.
And back then, that's way too much money. I'm like, this is great. Birthday parties, all this stuff.
Right.
I start working as the years go. I think by the time I was 19, I think that's when I was on steroids. And I like, I was just wearing tight shirts, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And there were girls that were on the team that were like 18, 19 in college or high school, like kind of like, about to go to the next level. And then the older teachers with me, there was a mother of one of the competitors, the gymnast, that was the top teacher.
Okay.
Her name was Cheryl.
Cheryl.
She was like between 40 and 45, right? And then there was another mom that was kind of involved too. And those women and I worked in the same kind of capacity.
Okay.
So we would mostly teach the kids. They had some kind of hand in the team, but mostly
then there
support
are
for their
people
daughter.
like your age around that are later. That's so interesting.
And there's even the girls that were on the team, they would coach like at my just to make some money and shit like that.
Right, sure, it makes sense.
So that's who my job usually went to before this woman gave me an ocular pat down and
she goes, "We could use boy. Let's go."
So I'm like, I'm for whatever. I'm the head of the gym.
This got to be the best job? You're 16 and it's like all women, and they're a lot of them are just a year or two older than you.
Yeah, and of course there's weird shit, with 6-year-olds getting really overcoached in the corner, and you're like, I don't want to look at that. And pay attention.
Let's go over
I'm
here.
gonna keep my eyes on women my own age, thank you. And so when I was like 19 and I was juicing, like I was like, this is like 3 years at the same place. Every summer I came back. I'm the head of the goddamn gym. They love me.
Great.
It's like boy band shit, ridiculous, local.
That sounds
like
amazing.
Just everybody enjoyed my presence. And I'm like making like, not even veiled sexual come-ons to the older coaches, the women, like the mothers.
The mothers,
because I'm feeling myself. I am all cock.
And they're
I'm like, 19 and juice, and I'm like, let's fucking
You're 100%
go.
cock, right?
Yeah, I am balls. So I like make one Desperate Housewives reference about being the Cheryl, about being her pool boy, and it was just laser focus, numbers exchange right there. We're texting each other. She's sending me nude pictures. I'm like pretending that it's hot, but it's all pixelated. It's like 1 pixel. I can't see shit.
That's horrible.
And but we make a
I was
date.
really disappointed. Yeah, I got it.
Don't worry, I'll give you something to jerk to, my friend. We made a date.
That's what this podcast is about.
Yeah. That's like, I'll be like Ray J in the Kim Kardashian tape. I know y'all jerking off to this. Well, I was trying to, Ray, and then you made eye contact with me. So we like exchange all these texts, pictures, all that stuff, and we make a plan to meet up at the gym. This is in Orangeburg. There's one gymnastics gym. If you really cared, you'll look it up.
Go up. They're still come.
So they definitely are still going. So I'm playing poker though early that night, and I'm like I'm winning a lot.
You're all cock.
So
Of course, you're winning everything.
I am cock and balls.
Yeah, you're all cock.
I have about 650 in front of me, right?
Wow.
And then I leave that game, as I'm sure I was like wildly bragging about what was about to happen.
Yeah.
And go to the gym, and she asks me to buy her like a 6-pack of Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Wow.
Just so she could, loosen up. She's like between 40 and 45. It's hysterical. And I'm like 19 with a fake ID of a Persian kid named Cameron. And I'm like, yeah, why not? So I buy her the Mike's Hard Lemonade. We go to the gym. We we're like kind of talking or whatever. It's like the most high school hookup I've ever had, even during hookup.
Yeah.
Like, or during high school. Like, like, do you know what I mean? Like, it was so weirdly, like,
are we gonna do
kid flirtatious, like, fingers on your belt loops type shit.
Yeah.
Almost like we're trying to fuck at the mall.
Yeah,
like, it's just a weird vibe.
Like, are we gonna just maybe kiss and that'll be it?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So then we kiss, and it's the most violent teeth-to-teeth kiss I've ever had in my entire life. Her mouth was like Lloyd Christmas and Dumb and Dumber, just completely over-encompassing my mouth.
Yeah.
But I was like, fuck it, this is how this old bitch does it.
Yeah. When you're that age, you're like, I'll go with it, whatever.
Yeah,
Let's just see.
This is all for the story, baby. I'm going to tell this on Kase Rosso's... What is this called?
Case of the Mondays?
Case of the Mondays. I almost called it Part of the Problem with Dave Smith. So
we're gonna rebrand.
She's making out with me, and then we go into the gym, and I end up like eating her out on the vault. I'm like banging her on the cheese mat.
Oh, that's
it is
great.
like, and she is,
First of all, I don't know what a vault is or a cheese mat, but that's both of the most different things I've ever heard someone have sex on.
A vault is one of the things that like it comes up the pad,
that little pommel horse thing.
And you jump from the thing to launch yourself off.
Wow!
So she laid on that, and I just fucking dined in, and
my mind is blown again.
Fun stuff.
That's great.
I know y'all jerking off to this.
Really raging it up.
So she
and then what's a cheese mat?
The cheese mat is just like a wedged, padded mat.
A wedge padded mat.
Yeah.
Got it. So it goes up in like a angle.
Listen, I have penile limitations and I have sexual limitations. I'm fine and I'm serviceable in bed. However, this was one of those occasions where she is clearly, I kicked the cobwebs off of something because she was just an insta-comer, like 11 times to the point where I'm like, I almost don't believe you, but congratulations.
Yeah,
like, if this is your life, if this is how easy it is, I bet a lot of women would beg for this type of just eject button.
Just, every second. Also, not too many women banging a 100% cock 19-year-old.
Goddamn. Oh, I mean, I am silverback gorilla fucking.
Yeah.
Like, just, I have, thank God she was having a good time.
Yeah. She's not just like, all right, anytime now.
So we, like, she also, like, made me stay inside of her for a while after I came, which was odd to feel myself shrink and shrivel into nothing while kind of covered with a vagina. It was just an odd
great.
experience.
When you're that young, you go, whatever you want.
Yeah, and she like kind of shook and aftershocked and got weird like a dying desert animal
the old
underneath me. So, sorry, this story will end pretty quickly. But
it's okay. I just aftershock really, those can be weird. Go ahead.
Did you have an experience with that?
I've seen one woman with some aftershocks, and it's a weird thing. You're like, you all right? And they're just like, It's like twitching, and you're like, I don't know what's happening right now, man. You're just like, you're like crazy.
You have a 1,000-mile stare right now, recalling this experience.
I cannot even bring myself back to the experience. I felt so uncomfortable. I was this woman, is everything good? Is this who I thought this person was when this happened? I was like,
she's like getting possessed by Zool.
Yeah. Are you? I was like, can you walk this off like an adult and not? I mean, we just had sex, for God's sakes. I was like, what does this mean now? It like freaked me out. I was like, are we dating?
That would be a fun tool, a replacement penis for aftershocks. Like if you're getting soft, I can just slide one in, and it could just be of a mold of my penis.
And it's aftershocks for you. Yeah,
good idea.
That's great.
Patented on this podcast.
Yeah.
So we finish up. She like wants to go again, and I'm like, I have $650 on the table. I
gotta go back to my poker game. She she honestly probably came again when you said that. That's
probably yeah. I just was so dismissive. It turns out her like ex-husband was in prison during this. It's like could have ended up being a real nightmare.
Yeah.
So
I was guessing husband was in prison when you told me you were banging her in a gymnasium. Yeah.
Man, thank God I didn't get like ringworm.
Yeah.
No, I'm like thinking about it now.
Weird.
What a wild decision.
You're just
that
on
was.
a thing. You're like,
I mean, I was gloved up. She also sucked the condom onto me. That was a bizarre experience.
That is a weird. That is a weird. When you're young and someone does that, that's a weird. I've had that.
That's
happen
a pro.
Too.
You're just like, you lived through the 70s.
You're like, I got to do this in a sexy way. That's how many times I've done it.
Yeah. So after we like, it kind of ended like I thought that was it. Like, I'm 19, you're 45 or whatever. We're we're not going to carry on. Like, that was fun. We did that. That was great.
I'm going to try out for another one.
Right.
Yeah.
So she was kind of like catching feelings a little bit in the sense where she was like texting me and interested in meeting up again. And I'm like, this crazy bitch can't get enough. Meanwhile, I'm just being an asshole.
Right.
But this is all cock cannon. No longer. I have far more empathy towards people these days. So her daughter, though, was an 18-year-old on their competitive team.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Buddy, I'm just imagining one of your friends seeing you all these years later and be like, just being like, oh man, that guy used to be 100% cock. You really fell off. Look at that empathy he's got now. 100% cock cannon.
There's barely any cock now.
He's at 10% cock at most right now.
Brutal.
Maximum 10%.
That is brutal. And that's fully hard. 10%.
I used to be 100%.
Yeah. Wow. Well,
really fell off.
Sometimes you lose things and gain others.
You do get others. Yeah.
So I start talking to her daughter.
Yeah.
And her daughter's like into me. We're into each other. Like, we start flirting. She comes out to parties. And I guess we were going to meet up and have sex. Like, we spoke directly about hooking up. And her mother found out about this in the middle of a workday. So there's kids during their parties. There's the team
is
practicing.
Wild.
The mom, Cheryl, that I had sex with, found out, and she, in the middle of everybody, like probably 80, 90 people in this gym, buzzing children, don't fuck him. I fucked him. And everybody looks over, and she's pointing to her daughter, pointing to me. I fucked Mike in this gym. I fucked him on the vault and on the cheese mat. The coach, this Russian guy, Sasha, like puts a like post-marathon blanket over her and like walks her into the office. He's like, Jesus Christ. He just walks her in and she's screaming. I fucked him. She brings her into some room. They bring me into another room and they're like, you can just never come back. Yeah. And I got fired and I was like, it was worth it.
Yeah, you gotta go, man. You can't be fucking the moms that
and then attempting the daughter. Yeah, and then even after that, like a year later, the daughter tried to hit me up, and but I think I was with somebody, and she may have been with somebody. But
whatever, man. Having the woman in public yell out, "You can't fuck him! I fucked him on the cheese mat." That's the greatest, and the vault is the greatest thing. Oh wow! And then they go, "Listen, you can't come back, man. You can't. You can't." You're like, I'm a good employee. You're like, we know. But
midway through the sentence, I was like,
yeah.
All of what you're about to say makes sense.
That's the best reason I've ever heard in my entire life of being fired. And I feel like you're like, I got another story. I'm going to go, I don't care, man. I don't care. We're right back to China, baby.
Honestly,
We're back to China.
I think that's it.
That's great. That's insane. So what happened to that woman? Did you ever see her again?
No, I think we're friends on Facebook.
She's like, you got married. She likes it. This is great.
I think she did actually.
Isn't it wild? Because she's like, gotta be what?
It's so many years.
She's
got to be 60 at this point.
Yeah, she's
I would
60.
assume.
Yeah. If she kept aging at the normal rate of human beings, she'd be 20 years older.
59, 60. Yeah, that's crazy.
Wild. Yeah, you go. This is my old flame. It comes by.
Fucking Cheryl
just yells at everyone.
Yeah, that was a pretty wild one.
So we do Worst We Were Fucked Up at Job and Worst We Were Fucked Up Dating, and I didn't even have to ask you about Worst We Were Fucked Up Dating because I feel like that's got to be it. That's the best. That's getting called out. That's a really twofer, man. And getting fucking called out in front of everyone is insane. Did you feel a little like, I did. Yeah.
Like exposed as a piece of shit or proud?
Oh, proud. No, a little bit proud. Yeah,
Listen to how I'm telling this.
Yeah.
This is a real bragging point.
Man, this guy's,
I know I shouldn't.
This guy's 75% cock. I don't know what's going on right now.
It's grown back, baby.
10% up. Goddamn, 75%.
I'm like Groot, except just by my dick.
By the time we're done, you're going to just turn into back to 100% cock cannon.
I can't wait. Yeah. I'm going to walk around the city just fucking elbowing people with my dick.
I've had that happen to me. It's not nice. Have you ever had... Buddy, that's probably the two of the wildest stories I've ever heard. Honestly, I'm like frazzled, like in the sense of like I want to keep continuing with like interviewing you, but I'm like that was the greatest, craziest two things I've ever heard back to back. It went to China.
It did go.
That's fucking nuts.
That is a good point.
You're
Yeah,
not
wow.
going to stop watching me be like, wow.
Yeah.
Every like a goldfish. Every like 45 seconds, I'm going to be like, yeah. And I will be talking about something like, wow, China. And then you're going to be like talking about something like, cheese mat. You said cheese mat in front of all these people. That's fucking wild, dude. I've never had a woman call me out like that. My only time that ever happened to me, I was at a bar and a... This story's not going to make me look great, but this one was bartending. She introduced me to her friend. She thought I was a nice guy. She's like, you were vegetarian. I thought you were nice. I went vegetarian for 9 months when I was like 23. And I go, hey, Jess, what's going on? She's like, don't talk to me. I go, what's wrong? And then she screams at the top of her lungs. Everyone's there. She goes, don't talk to me. You came in my friend's face. And what?
Wow.
You're an asshole. I go, hey, okay, I gotta go.
Wow, had you aimed elsewhere, she would have been into it?
She would have been into it, I think. She goes, she thought you were nice, and then you came in her face. She's fucking yelling.
No.
I was like, it was an accident. I apologized. I was like, I'm so sorry. Do you want? And then the woman goes, hey, it's fine.
As she's wearing an eye patch.
She was never the same afterwards. I was like, hey, what
She's
is it
Bell's
called?
palsy.
Right.
From the cum.
Yeah. My cum gives women Bell's palsy.
I do have that just reminded me of another story. So
Yeah.
I used to, this kind of incorporates two things as well. I used to work at a camp. I was a junior camp counselor to senior camp counselor to director of a camp for disabled kids.
Okay.
For like mentally, emotionally, physically, the whole thing.
I'm almost laughing because it immediately got into a somber place. I was like, yes,
but it's not. It's actually the happiest place on earth. It is. It is truly Disneyland. It's unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah, especially because all of the counselors. Again, this is like you're young, you're horned up.
Right.
You're like they're not retarded.
Right. You're not fucking the retarded kids. Right.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So I.
Your boss comes in. Mike, what are you doing? She's not retarded. It's a problem. She's a counselor.
Oh my
Just
god.
the most insane thing.
I have so many stories that are actually coming into my head that I just forgot what my original was, but now I remember it. So
okay.
I've always been like a pretty, like I'm a nice guy, but obviously like outgoing and kind of weird in terms of what I talk about comedically.
Sure.
And so girls feel comfortable with me, especially when I was younger. And so there was a time that like some girls would hit me up to teach them to suck my dick.
That's okay.
Like I swear to God, like this is just the truth. I'm not. It sounds gross coming out of my face,
gross at all.
But it wasn't insidious. It wasn't me even talking them into it.
Never knew who you were. Honestly,
this
that's
is
what
a
it feels
few
like,
girls that I knew that were like, I'm nervous about doing it. I would like to try on you, and I'm like, yeah, all right, fuck it. That sounds like the best.
And this is where?
This is in Rockland County.
This is a great place.
Yeah, this is a retarded camp.
Place.
It actually, so two of the
You're at retard camp and women are there like, you mind if I try sucking your dick? You're like, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I guess you could try it. So I ended up hooking up with a bunch of girls from this camp, one of which was the Can I Learn on You? And then one of them, they all went to the same high school, though, Clarkstown South. So this was like one of the summers, I forget when it was, but one of the girls invited me to a house party at her house. All of her friends from the camp were going to be there.
How old are you now?
Like 18.
God,
I mean, this is 110% cock cannon. This is like reserve
extra
energy.
credit cock
cannon.
cannon.
My cock starts in my asshole cannon. That's how much cock.
You're all cock.
I am the most.
Oh, man.
So I go to this party.
I would have go ahead.
And the girl that invites me, I had hooked up with before too, but she gave me this vibe of like, you're gonna have to work for this, or I'm not even really into you. Like it was kind of like that kind of thing, even though she invited me.
Yeah, house party hookup is like, you're like, this is great.
It's gonna be, but I went there and her immediate disposition kind of confused me, so I was like, all right, whatever. So I started talking to some of the other girls that I was counselor with at the camp, and the one girl that learned on me was like, let's go, fuck. And I was like, all right, hell yeah. I just got Heisman.
Yeah.
Let's go. I roll off the block and I look upfield.
Let's go. Yeah.
So she like brings me inside and like can't even wait to get in a bathroom, pulls me on top of her on the stairwell, like starts going down my pants in the middle of the party.
Okay.
And we're like making out on the stairwell. I mean, 18.
Yeah.
Pure
No,
cock.
of course. Yeah. 100% cock.
All of a sudden, I get kicked in the back. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn around, and it's the girl that invited me.
Wow.
That I had hooked up with in the past, being like,
you have to try.
in my fucking house? Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck is your problem? I invite you here, you piece of shit. Get the fuck out of my house. And I'm like, oh, all right, like, whatever. And I just, like, kind of fucking waddled down. And mind you, I'm, like, not drunk. I didn't drink.
Right.
So I, like, walk out of the house, and I'm saying goodbye to people. I'm, like, half telling the story about the ridiculous shit that just happened. People are upstairs, like, wooing about it, and you hear the whole thing. Like, it's kind of spreading around the house. So I walk out front, and I hear, psst. And I look, and it's the girl that pulled me onto the steps at the side of the house. She goes, come here. And I go to the side of the house.
Yeah.
And she goes, fuck me right here. And I'm like, done deal.
No problem.
So I, like, pulls me onto the grass, pulls down my pants.
Yeah.
I am about to get in, and I get absolutely punted in the back of the head. like full force cop boot to the back of your head, like you fucking sold Lucy's. Like, just absolutely decimating my cranium. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I turn around, and it's the girl who invited me again, being like, on the side of my house. I just kicked you out of my house. What the fuck are you doing, dude? And she's like, what is your problem, bitch? Like, what the fuck? We're all supposed to be friends. What the fuck? And I'm
What's
like,
the problem?
Oh, fair enough. And I, like, pull up my pants. My friend, like, comes out with half a chub sticking out of his fucking jeans. And he's like, oh, let's get out of here. And we just left and went to the diner.
You're at the diner. You're getting head in the diner. She goes, in my diner.
Yeah.
Everywhere you go.
Yeah, it's the New City Diner. She fucking loses her mind.
You go to your house, you're getting laid, you just hear pop through the fucking thing, smash through the hedge. She goes, in my town. He just keeps nonstop doing that. I'll kill this riff. I'll just keep giving examples. You're in upstate New York, in my country.
I was like trying to keep track, and I'm like, what is that? Plus another story.
You know how sometimes people go A to C? I go A to A.
Yeah. I skipped so many steps. I'm back at the start.
Yeah. Oh no, what's going on? So you go to the diner. You're hanging with them. That's great.
Yeah,
you're 18. You're 18.
I mean,
you're having a great time.
Truly ridiculous.
So you're probably
that
one
girl
of the
also
only.
ended up blowing me with one of her friends like the next year. Like, it's such a weird relationship I had with that girl and that camp.
I don't know if you guys can see. I've almost sprained both of my eyebrows.
That's why I'm so comfortable being
went.
married, dude. It's because I've had my turn. I had a lot of fun.
I honestly thought you were possibly just a man who was like, things are good. Things are fine. I had my turn. This is good. Like, being like, I'm going to get... No, you've really... That's your turn.
Yeah, I lived my life.
That's everyone...
I lived my life, and now it's over.
I would honestly... Now it's done. Now it's...
No, I'm ready for a real connection. I've been ready. I've been in it for 11 years.
10% cock.
Yeah.
No, the women getting blown by the same time by two women. It's
behind a cone zone. That was pretty cool.
What is a cone zone?
Ice cream cone parlor.
Wow. Oh,
yeah, that was pretty sweet. And then we went to the parking lot of their elementary school, which only in retrospect I realize how illegal and problematic that could have been.
When you're that age, you go, I went to elementary school here. What's the problem? I can't get blown in my old elementary school. What kind of country is this?
It was great. It was the equestrian chick and the chick that invited me to her party.
That's insane.
Yeah, equestrian chick from the camp.
How did that even occur?
We just met up and we just started having a conversation, and it literally just started happening.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. I don't know. I had
a threesome. And
I had one.
But like I've had like I had two, and then I sometimes say I had three, and I forget the third one didn't happen. But I did get to kiss two girls at the bar, which is not even that great. But they were both kissing me at the same time. I was like, this is wild. But to get blown by two women in a threesome, I was like, that happened. But like, it's just not.
Well, did you have fun?
It was amazing. It was one of the greatest things ever. But to have that happen and have it just be that is insane.
Yeah, I mean,
amazing.
We were like 18, I guess, something like that.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
Mike,
I'm not saying this as like. I mean, it is kind of bragging. It is fundamentally bragging.
It honestly might have just depressed me about my life moving forward. I go,
wow, I know.
Yeah, you're 18.
Eyelids somehow get heavier.
Jesus Christ! I was like, "What is what I have to look forward to? Not this. This is crazy." All right, it's fine. We'll make it happen.
Well, now I'm about to have a son. I'm sure his life is going to be something.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's great. So, you hit that thing. People talk about that a lot. Like, guys just hit the point where you have every person just has their own level of, I need to do this much. And now I'm done having fun. I'm done having fun with random people.
Yeah. I mean, I've never been single during comedy.
Yeah, no, I know.
So I don't even. I've never benefited from what it's like to perform in front of people. I'm sure that's great, but I enjoy my wife. She's good people.
Yeah,
and she knows all this.
She is good,
which is great.
Yeah,
that's why I feel so comfortable being open about it. Is because she knows everything.
Amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. But also, it's great that you have good stories before you guys are like together and you're like, yep, this good stuff happens. And you're like, I got nothing. Yeah, I talked to some guys who've been in the relationship for like 10 years and they're like, I have nothing's happening forever because they get out of like 1 7 year into another 8 year and you're like, I'm not into this. I'm not into this. I hit that point also where I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm not going to just the constant dating, the constant like when you're at 25 and
right.
I'm gonna do this. This is life, dude. This is fucking life.
That sucks. That seems like it sucks. I do not have the endurance
100%
or concentration.
It's so interesting to me though that most people have to be pretty drunk to have a sexual experience for the first time, and you had like a ton, it seems,
before I drank.
Before you drank.
Yeah. Most of my drunk sex has been with my wife.
And you this 45-year-old woman, like you're just sober.
Yeah. She was Mike's hard and a half deep, so I mean 2.5.
2.5, huh? Mike is 120% cock.
Goddamn right.
Yeah, all cock. All cock, all the time.
That better be the title of this episode.
That has to be the title.
100% cock.
100% cock. So you're having sex sober the first couple times, and for a while, for years.
Thank God.
That blows my mind.
Well, the first person
you're the only man I know, I think, that I've met that's done that, and I don't mean that in any kind of judgmental way. I'm just like, it's fascinating to me.
I don't think I had drunk sex until like I was 21 and I started or 20 and I started having sex when I was 15. Literally, I had sex with my wife we were both each other's firsts.
Wow.
When we were 15 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and we were totally sober. But we both soberly learned on each other. So that was also an unbelievable teaching tool.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is great. Because,
a couple guys.
If you're open and honest with your girlfriend at 15, you can kind of just poke around in a very scientific way while also just remaining hard and being able to fuck.
Right. You're like, I'm 15. This is amazing.
Yeah,
and like, this is good. This is good. This
Having
is good.
my own fucking, what is that?
Yeah, Operation. Yeah, there you go. Operation.
Yeah. I almost bumped mics with you.
100% cock, man. That's great. So you get to experiment with this woman, and you're just sober the whole time. It's fascinating to me because I feel like most people I know, the social anxiety of like meeting someone for the first time is the reason they drink.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, well, how would you meet a girl without drinking for the longest time?
Yeah.
I was the only time people feel comfortable.
I got into that groove too, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay, because I was like, the only way you feel comfortable hooking up, you go, all right, I'm going to be drunk, and then we'll talk, and then we make out, and then
I was the weirdo athlete at high school parties with a carton of orange juice. I was that dude, and I was probably one of the more.
So who cares?
I was one of the more, not like fucking jock-tacular outrageous dudes, but I was pretty funny at parties. We'd just bust balls, all that shit. It was the same as if I was drinking.
Right,
so
right. And you're all amped up because you're like, you
100% cock.
You 100% cock. Hey. You're rolling on fucking steroids.
That's an intoxicating drug. That cock.
You don't realize how fucking dope, how great you feel until you get older and you get like your body starts to suck. You realize how amazing you felt when you were 16.
I never am awake. I've never felt awake.
Like
since
I've just
I was
been
in high school.
I've been drowsy the whole time.
Slumber, some sort of like slowing down anchor on the bottom of the floor.
Because I was only in shape for short periods of time, but then I think of like how
You're
I was
in shape now, right?
I'm in okay shape, but I look better than basically story of my life. I look better than actual shape I am. I remember in college, people were like, "Hey man, do you want to play on the?" Came up to me and were like, "Hey man, do you want to play?" This is not a brag. People came up to me, they're like, "Hey, do you want to play on the lacrosse team?" I go, "I don't know how to play lacrosse." They're like, "No, you'll be all right." Because they thought I was like in shape. They're like, this guy can run. This guy works out.
What school did you go to?
New Paltz, baby. And let me tell you, it was a club lacrosse team.
It wasn't even lacrosse. They were just catching butterflies with nets.
We're all just taking bong hits and catching butterflies. We're like, this is lacrosse, baby, up in New Paltz.
Lacrosse.
That's how we do it up here, man. Like, don't worry about getting it in, man. It's not about scoring goals.
It's the opposite of Duke lacrosse. You call a stripper in and then you read her numerology.
It's the universe, dude. We're all gonna take mushrooms.
Pull a card.
You're just doing astrology, tarot card readings for a stripper. Yeah, I played club lacrosse. They're like, hey, come on, play. And I was like, sure. And then like 4 of them were like the captain of their high school lacrosse teams. And very quickly it became apparent that I was not good enough to be on the team because I did not ever even hold lacrossing before. But one of the guys that was like a little bit better than me, that was in horrible shape, got hit with the ball. And it hit him in the calf, and he yelled out such like a pussy yell that the entire team got so embarrassed that we were just like, yeah, it's fine, everyone just on the team. Like, he couldn't even fire this guy.
No shit.
Yeah. I could just feel this group embarrassment of like, oh man, we're gonna lose games. It's like as soon as it happened, we're like, this is not gonna go well for this at all. I never ended up playing.
Wow, that's a sad story.
No, I never ended up playing because I just went to the parties, I went to the workouts, and that was it. I never showed up to a game in my life.
I was supposed to play basketball at Geneseo, and then the first day of workouts, I decided against it. Because I just played for 2 years. Yeah. I hurt myself. I got a hernia, and then I had that fucking liver thing. And so I was like, I think I'm just done. I'm done being a student athlete. It's too hard. It's like, it's so much fucking work.
And then I said, yeah, exactly. I was like, there's no gain from this. I'm just going to be putting all this effort in.
I'll be a coach. I thought I was going to be like a high school coach or something like that, which, would have been fine. That would have been great. But, I'm glad with what I'm doing.
You coached 75 things at this point.
I have, soccer, basketball, gymnastics.
Gymnastics is wild to me that you coach. With no gymnastics,
I used to do it. Kid. It was so funny because it's all like
I was trained by Russians as a child until the age of 8.
I can't even touch my toes. I literally can't touch my toes. I was having 4-year-olds like swing on the uneven bars, and then I'd like look off in the distance and they'd fall down and hurt themselves. And I was like just a complete liability. But I was good at teaching the trampoline into the foam pit. I could do pikes and flippies and stuff like that.
Yeah, that was fun to do when you were a kid. You go, I'm gonna fuck up.
But they had me on everything. The vault, the floor, the rings. I'm like, I don't know any of these things.
It seems like the two themes of both these jobs is just like you're given a bunch of tasks that you have no training or ability for. And they're like, yeah, Mike, go handle it. And you're like, yeah, I've done it.
And comedy.
Yeah, I've done it before.
And comedy. That's how you start comedy.
Yeah, that's
You've
true.
no training or ability. And it's like, all right, I guess.
Comedy's the same, yeah. You go,
I guess
all right, do it.
God damn it. What a nightmare.
Yeah, it is. I mean, what's the worst? You have a worst show you've ever done? That comes to mind. It doesn't have to be the worst bomb, but maybe like the worst heckler or worst stage situation, or just fucking the worst show where you're like, I did an hour. I mean, I don't know. And you go.
I did one with Feeney recently for a bunch of cops,
and you could stop there. Yeah. That sounds horrible.
But usually cop gigs are pretty fun. But this was like the microphone. It was like 350 people, like so many people in this one super well lit room, so you could see everyone's face.
That's always good for comedy.
Yeah, the microphone didn't work.
Do you guys have multiple spotlights? Put them all on.
Yeah. Oh, on everybody except the performer. If we could be in the dark, that would also be helpful.
You want the big shadow on the guy's face.
Yeah. So the microphone not only reached the first 9 people out of 450 or whatever. Yeah. Anytime you stepped out of a 6-inch radius, it whoom, 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 whoom. So you had no.
People don't know how insane that is. It's a heckle. It's worse than heckle.
It's like worse. It's not having any authority over the crowd during a show where you don't anyway. Like it's a nightmare.
Yeah, that insane sound that happens. We put a mic, that whiny, insane, high pitched sound, and you're like, you can't have this during. People just check out. They're like, Jesus, what was that? And you got to wait for them to come back.
I had to do 35 minutes. I mean, I think I had to do 40, but I did just 35 on the nose, and I was like, I think we all get what's happening here. That was really awful because, of course, before the show, like the guy's like, hey, make fun of this guy, and another guy's like, make fun of this guy, and they're all cops, so they have no sense of humor about themselves.
No, zero.
They're all just like, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What?
I'm 200% cock. What's your problem?
In fairness, Feeney ate such a plate of shit, and so did I. But he went up first, and he it was impossible.
Think cops would be I don't know. You would think to be like, all right, I'll just talk about this, and then
no. Usually they're great, but this it was because of the setup, the mic, everything. It was terrible. So Feeney goes up, and he has no ability to get anything done because of how awful the technical support is, and their just overall attention. So I can't even hear him in the back. back. I'm hearing people at full volume talking.
Okay,
and
so
he's
this
just
is
like,
this is the problem. I understand now.
And
Okay.
it's just like, oh, okay, nobody even knows there's a show. There's just a guy kind of gesticulating wildly
far
in front of
away,
people,
and people are kind of paying attention.
So I'm just like, fuck. So, he gets done, gets as many laughs as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Brings me on, and my first line, this is probably to my detriment, but I thought I needed to get their attention. I go, I think it's Woodridge, New Jersey or something like that. I was like, Woodridge, New Jersey, PD, how are we? And they like applaud wildly. I'm like, I heard this town is only a square mile. So what is this, 11 cops fighting over the same black guy? And they did not care for that.
Oh, no.
At all. Like just a full Tim Allen pause. What are you doing? We absolutely
just call all of us racist? What's the problem?
And it was just a fun barb.
Yeah, come on.
So
just a little something for you guys.
Oh, so I'm like planning to do all this material, and of course, while I'm watching Feeney eat shit, I have these delusions of grandeur that I'm going to be the one that gets them.
That. Yeah.
Of course, and I go up there and immediately panic. I'm swimming fast in quicksand, and I just go into what they told me previously, and I'm like doing it, and I'm trashing the people, and each one is getting like wildly offended as if I just like said something only their parents knew about.
Right.
Like it was so
you were supposed to mention that, man.
Like, so I just ate shit for 35 minutes, and eventually it was just like I had an argument with one of the cops about weed because I was like, oh, I smoke weed, and the guy goes, boo. I go, what? Because I heard you guys are legalizing it soon in Jersey. He's like, don't, gives you brain damage. I go, you're drinking whiskey right now, you fucking idiot. I was like, how many people have you pulled out of a car mangled
great
because of what you're consuming right now? And how many of those people? So this is just immediate.
I have no idea why the show went south. Yeah, you're fighting the cops against their self-interest. Like, what are you doing right now? You're a loser. Like, where are you drinking?
I didn't even say you're a loser. Yeah. I just was like, that was also 30 minutes in.
I feel like that was implied.
I was already eating shit after I kind of won them back at points. So it wasn't a full wash, but it was certainly difficult. But I got attacked on stage once too, though.
Did you? Yeah. You got actually attacked. I feel like you would have gotten attacked after this. Okay, it makes no sense to me. These cops didn't try and beat you up after this.
No, what is this? Rounders? They didn't catch me dealing
Sounds
from
like
the bottom
rounders.
of the deck. They were just like they actually apologized after. They were
for
like,
real?
Yeah, they were like, we're really sorry. Like actually last year we had the same problem. It's hilarious. They're like, a comedian came and kind of complained about the same things. We'll probably we'll make sure to change it next year. And of course they won't. But they were actually very gracious. I almost got attacked after a gig in Charlottesville, Virginia, and this was like 3 weeks after the statue stuff. And
the statue stuff, they were angry about the
3 fucking needle dicks with cowboy hats yelled something to me about how I don't know my history when I just made fun of like a haircut, and I said you look like you're protecting a statue.
Oh, so this is okay.
And this is right after, and one guy goes, "You don't know your history," and I was like, "Oh, do I not?" I was like, "Is there an alternative version where the South won?" I was what non-consolation prize did you guys get? And and of course
I'm being like a stereotype.
Yeah, but everybody around him doesn't want that town to be known for that, so they're all kind of on my side, and they're shushing this guy around. But then 4 of them waited for me outside of the theater in hopes of fighting, and I was actually about to walk out to just be like, let's get crazy, but there's guns and weird shit in the South.
There's a lot of guns. Yeah. There's a lot of guns and weird shit. You want to avoid that.
This is separate. This is
because you don't know what that guy's going to be doing when you get into a fight.
I mean, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. Yeah,
but I'm such an animal sometimes where I can't see.
I've had those moments too,
shit.
and I don't know why. And honestly, for many, many years, I was not that guy at all. But I think in the last 2 or 3 years, I just haven't gotten in a fight in a long time. And I go, I'm going to die one day. And I just go, fuck it. Once in a while, I go, you get so pissed off in normal adult life on a daily basis. And you're like, the release valve would be for me just to beat the shit out of some especially after a show.
Yeah.
If a fucking asshole from a show wanted to tussle, I'd be like, all right, well, one of us is going to the hospital.
2 gay guys tried to fight me after a New York Comedy Club show.
You were there for that. I was very impressed.
I didn't even say anything remotely homophobic. I didn't mention sexuality at all. And they tried to make it that. They kept being like, why you want to they're like, why you want to say that? And I'm like, what?
2 people having 2 different conversations. You literally are just calling them out for being
I was like, you booed. You booed the host and me, another female. Feeney.
Both times, yeah.
Both times.
Like, it was going south. Feeney was there.
I mean, that was a weird one. Whatever. That's not even worth getting
but
into.
You kept your composure. Which
I kept
was
my composure.
impressed.
And
I mean,
just
that
kind
was
of broke down why they were terrible people.
Yeah.
And just like, at a base level, having zero to do with the fact that they're not going to heaven, just the fact that their behavior is
just
so
for
awful.
their lifestyle choices. Right.
So this one was like, I was like maybe 18 months into comedy, maybe even less, and I was doing Mustang Sally's.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that on 85th and 2nd? You ever been
yeah.
there? So they had that basement show that was like a real narrow corridor. Like it was kind of almost like a vampire dungeon type place.
Yeah,
right?
no place.
Curtis Parks used to run it. Do you remember him?
There was a different show I did there, not Curtis. Ooh, yes, I do. I think that's a show I did. Okay,
And another buddy too. Shit, I forget his name.
I forget his name. Did they quit?
They don't live in New York anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, but so
I haven't seen that name heard that name in a long time.
I saw him on Facebook the other day.
Okay,
Curtis, if you're out there,
hey,
we're not filming anymore, are we? Perfect.
You shut off everything.
Is this even on?
Yeah, everything's on. Yeah.
Good. So
we stopped recording 45 minutes ago. I was just really into the story
and holding mics.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the show, and it's like, it's like 6 people maybe, and there's this one guy who is like, it's like his 43rd birthday, and he's like a sad, bald guy, white guy that is like, very like kind of laying in his own filth, and after a hard day's work, and he is shit faced, shit faced.
That bar always you had like just fucking wasted.
Oh yeah,
people.
Well, because I think they also serve those bowls. Especially to birthday boys.
Okay.
I think he was like he was
the punch bowls.
He's banged up. Like he was for sure just not in his
blackout.
right. Blackout. And so he's like
hopped up on sugar too.
He's heckling, and I'm like I'm trying to deal with him at first, and then I'm so ill equipped. I have no tools because I'm like 18 months in or whatever that I kind of snap on him. I'm like, hey, dude, shut the fuck up. I know it's your... I was like, you have no right to talk. Shut the fuck up. And I was like, blah, blah, blah. And, whatever.
Yeah.
And, you could see him kind of like take the abuse and then, but like slowly process it, not really realize...
fun of me.
Not realize what's happening exactly in the moment. So after like berating him to the point where I felt bad, I was like, you know what? I am an asshole. I'm sorry. I was like, it's your birthday. I'm out of here. Enjoy your night. I'm sorry, dude. And I hung up my mic, and I went and I turned off my flip camera, which is that's what we had
long
at
ago
the
this
time.
was?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Turned off my flip camera, and as I turn it off, I hear Mike look out, and I turn around, and like a slow zombie, this drunk fuck is like coming at me with his arms out, and like, I mean, as if I've been waiting my life for this. I just lineman got inside his arms, grabbed his shirt, jacked it to his chin, threw him to the ground, armbarred the fuck out of his face, and then like 7 people got me off of the entire crowd got me off of him as I fucking was just mushing the shit out of his face.
I'm so jealous.
And they pulled me off, and everybody starts screaming at the guy. Like they're like, what the fuck is your problem?
How dare you attack the comedian?
And I'm such a young douche, like still douchey, still non-empathetic. I'm about 95% dick at this point. I scream,
what's your dick
that's
like,
for everyone who thinks comedians are pussies.
Wow.
Walked out.
Wow.
I just left. I'm so embarrassed by that.
You shouldn't be embarrassed. That's the greatest thing anyone's ever said. I'm so happy that you did that. I'm so jealous that you got to do that.
Yeah.
I've never had to actually hit an audience member ever.
You never went fully honest?
No. Never. I wanted to a million times, obviously, but I never got the opportunity. This is for everyone that thinks comedians are pussies.
And I did get a standing ovation. Dude, they like all clapped for me as I walked upstairs.
Every one of those people left with a story they'll tell for the rest of their lives.
I'm the only one. They've all forgotten.
They've all forgotten.
Meant absolutely nothing to them.
What happened?
Probably wasn't even that grandiose.
He said something about comedians being pussies. He laughed.
Yeah, I just tripped and hit that guy down. He knocked out unconscious by accident.
I ran a mic with not a mic. It was a show at the Comedy Cellar when I was like 2 years in, year and a half in. With
no shit.
Kase, yeah. They did it for a little bit. It was like a 6 p.m. show, and then we would have like good lineups. I was on the show I had no right to be, and there was we'd have like a bringer, you know. And if people I don't know, a bringer is just like you bring, like,
isn't that
people.
crazy how far a club can come from running early show like that to now having like 1:30 shows on Sundays that totally sell out.
Yeah,
with no
it's wild.
Gimmick. It's crazy.
It's wild too because it's like I wonder if like how much of that is attributed to the show being featured on Louis to begin with. You know?
I mean,
that was the first thing that really put it.
Louis. It's like it's all the mainstream. Everybody talking about it since Tough Crowd. That entire push, and then Louis, of course, winning all of those awards with their fucking name.
Yeah, right over it.
Yeah,
and then right after that, people like I think there was a special or two that shot there. But anyway, we're doing the show there. And I'm like too young in comedy to be very at all intimidated by what's happening. I go, this is the best place. This is one of the best places. And I go, all right, well, cool. I guess been doing this for 18 months or 19 months. I was like, yeah, cool. I'm here now. I was like, there must be like 5 people who do comedy. This is great. And I get off. I'm hosting, and I go outside. Again, I have no right to be. And I'm outside, and this guy, he's the bringer, and he doesn't have enough audience. So I was running with Kase Hawkins. Shout out Kase Hawkins. She's been on the pod.
Shout out.
And she goes, hey, can you just tell him he's not on the show? And I go, yeah. I'm like excited to be the guy to tell him he's on the show. This motherfucker's like
your
40.
First firing.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this. I was like, this guy, I'm 60 to 80% cock at this point. I'm pretty young. I go up to him.
Up.
He's wearing a ankle length leather trench coat, which should have been a sign to not just give this guy bad news. You know what I mean?
You should have hugged him and checked for firearms first.
Oh, 100%. He's wearing also a giant hat, like a giant cowboy hat that's also like a floppy leather kind of thing. And
Was he from The Matrix?
He's literally dressed from The Matrix, yeah. And I go, hey, man, I'm super sorry. Like, whatever I said, like, I'm sorry you can't be on the show. I'm like, we have too many people anyway. And then, like, you didn't bring, like, anybody.
Yeah.
And
you didn't have anyone?
He didn't have anybody. So
Yeah,
you can't, do it. And he goes, oh, okay. All right. This is the fun. Because then I realized later that him going, oh, okay, all right. That was him flipping out of his mind. Because I had no idea. I go, I was taking it pretty well. All right. I'm already thinking about what my opening joke's going to be. He goes, oh, okay, all right. And he just puts his hand on my shirt. I go, oh, this guy's going to do like an older guy, like double tap on the chest. Like, all right, kid, no problem. He goes, all right. You motherfucker. And he fucking starts shaking me as hard as he can. And I go, dude, what are you doing? I tried to push him off, and he ripped my pocket off my shirt.
Holy shit.
And 2 of my buttons pop off, and I'm like sitting there, and I go, this is the weirdest guy that's ever tried to fight me in my entire... I'm not even in the fight. I'm just looking at him like, this guy's got a leather trench coat.
Were you sent from the future to fight me?
Yeah. You must not host the show.
I was sent to take you out of comedy.
Yeah. He goes, you must not do this.
This podcast is like the opposite of Bill and Ted. It's going to destroy the world someday.
So, yeah, and then I had to get on stage and host, basically. And that was
my God.
Yeah. And
in
I was
your
just
torn,
like,
sexy shirt?
I was bleeding from my lip because the guy's, like, thing hit me. And I was like, I wiped it off. And I was like, all right, I'll host. And I don't know who was on the show. I think it was, like, Carmen Lynch.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I remember just seeing myself in that mirror. And I was, like, too young to acknowledge it.
Yeah.
I, like, was like, well, it's a hot day outside. I just have to be like, it's hot out, and my shirt's like torn open, and that mirror is right across from the stage, so I'm just looking at myself in the mirror and be like, I kind of look like I got in a fight. Anyway, where are you guys from? It's so clearly visible to the audience that I've gotten into a fight. They're looking at me like, my God.
I know that story is far more interesting than anything I've planned, but we'll get to it never.
Yeah. I have no desire to tell you guys. I'm just gonna pretend like it didn't happen. Like I'm clearly not. I'm like sweating. You can like see I'm like stressed. I'm like ready to.
You look like Jim Carrey in Liar Liar.
Yeah. I was doing okay. I forgot the line as I said it. Buddy, that was great. Thank you so much for doing this. This was
thanks
a great
for having
time.
me, man.
Yeah, I had a great
fun.
time. Where can people find you?
At I am Mike Cannon on social media. I put out videos on Instagram every single week, so people are watching, share those. And Irish Goodbye Podcast. Me and Mike Feeney, we tell stories just like all these. So
just like one of the ones that you just told.
Just all of them. Yeah, all the stories. So listen to that, please.
Yeah, awesome. And you guys, you can find me on all social media at Kase Rosso. And if you have any stories about the worst we ever fucked up, email us at ofthemondays@gmail.com, and maybe we'll be on there. All right. Bye.
Yeah.